Yeah, I'm Eric Deloach. I'm a book author. Here I am again with another show for Black authors and others. We have a special guest, another person in the art, not a book author, but a fashion designer. So, with no further ado, it's a special guest for you, audience. Let her introduce herself, and we'll get to it.
Hi everyone, my name is Kelli Lanee. My background is in the fashion industry, but I'm an artist. Like I'm multifaceted. But what I really love to do is design and style, mostly everything. I mean, whatever the task is, I can do it.
Yeah. Now, tell me where you originally from, and tell me how that influenced you to become a fashion designer.
Okay, so I'm originally from North Philadelphia, and well, coming from a city where it's hard to dream. I just always been artistic and liking clothes, and that came from my grandma. My grandma likes nice things, but it started to get deeper when I started to see like I paint. When I was a kid, I would do poetry, but one thing is like creativity wouldn't never leave me. But when I was a kid, I wanted to be a veterinarian. Um,
Okay.
but so the thing with fashion just kept coming up. I'm like, I'm going to New York. I'm going to New York. Watch. And I told my mom, I'm going to go to New York for fashion. She didn't even believe me. So I looked up the top schools in New York that did fashion design. So it was like FIT, and the Art Institute. So the FIT is more expensive than the Art Institute. So I went to the Art Institute of New York, and I actually, because I'm also business minded too, they wanted me to get on the fashion design program, but I didn't. What I did, I opted out to learn the back end and the business of things. So when I did my own brand or just helping peers of my color, because it was such a tough industry. It's such a tough industry for us. I can teach them the business part. So I went for fashion merchandising marketing, and I graduated with the success story of my class.
Mm,
And I just took on from there. I was working full time. I was freelancing in the industry full time, and I was going to school full time. And one
mm.
thing that kept me pushing was just understanding like this is my dream. I'm living my dream, and I wasn't going back to Philadelphia. I wasn't going back to Philadelphia saying it's done. I quit. So I made connections. I'm a people person. I made connections with, I worked with one of the top PRs in New York. I did freelance styling with other celebrity stylists, and I just networked. But when it came to having my own brand, it was just the ownership part. I think a lot of us need to understand, even as creatives, to own um, what we create, to make sure we also to make sure we trademark, to make sure we have patents, to make sure we own our intellectual property. And I just took on from there.
Wow, wow. So, what happened when you first did you wake up? I always ask people, did you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning? Oh, I'm gonna be a fashion designer. How did that how did you know for sure this is what I'm going for?
I think for me, it was a natural thing. Even now, like now that I want to start getting to like full collection, I really be saying to myself, is this really what I want to get into? Because it's so stressful. But it's worth it. I think just to see people and your designs or what you created from your brain is amazing. And because my brand is a faith brand, it's amazing to cover people with God in a unique way.
Yeah. Um, what brought you to A3C? That's where I met you. What brought you there?
Oh, so I was a former member of the Gathering Spot,
Mhm.
but during my membership, I never went. So
Right.
I seen that they was having the AC3 event, and I was like, I'm going to go because first, it's a good networking event, and it's good to see the upcoming artists that's in the city and try to just get them on board with what I got going on, because I'm also a stylist. So, and I love independent artists, period. I love the power that independent artists have.
Yeah. So being the stylist, does that also help with fashion to meet people, to connect as well? That those two fields go hand in hand?
Oh yeah, I mean, being a stylist it does go hand in hand, and it also worked for my brand, because
Okay.
I get to, as though I pull clothes for clients, I still get to bring along KL, and just introduce them to that.
Yeah. What would a lay person, if they don't know your fashion by chance, but how would you explain it to the regular Jenny or Joe?
So my fashion is contemporary wear. But it could coincide into streetwear, it could coincide to upscale, luxury wear. It's just depending on when we get back to the styling part. How are you want to style it? I really don't want to I don't like putting myself in a box, and I don't like also putting anything I'm connected to in a box.
Okay. And I saw like your website, you have gone out the country in different places to film your models and stuff like that. What has that experience been like?
Oh, so that experience has been beautiful. I think one thing is, um, the world is our canvas, and one thing is God has taught me that, use what you got. I think we get so caught on, trying to have this to make it perfect. But we got to think about that, God made the world in 7 days, and he made it by speaking it. So, if we have that same power, to make something out of nothing. So I think I just did a project called New Heaven,
Mhm.
and that just had to do with, what season we had all knew everything, and it brought out vibrant colors, and it was about the atmosphere. And I think shooting it in DR just established our vision and how we want to take this thing. And I think a lot of people don't understand. I have always made something out of nothing.
Mhm.
So when I get in these tough situations, because I really wasn't supposed to be going to DR, I was supposed to film somewhere else, and then God just was like, "Yo, you can do it in DR," and I made it. I made it happen. I actually filmed it myself and got someone to edit it how I needed it to be edited, and everything was, executed. I think I want to tell, anybody, whatever profession you in, but especially in the creative, that use what you got. God doesn't. We always think we need this. How much money is this? But I have someone that my well never runs dry, and I think that because I always be like, yo, if they could see the behind the scenes of this thing, they'd be like, it gotta be God. It gotta
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. I'm just gonna ask a few more questions, and then maybe another time, because I know the situation behind the scenes. You explained to me you're in Mexico and things going on, but maybe we'll get another chance to really interview her more. I want to talk to her next time about her grandmother influence. I know that that's big and huge, and I know that Black women and Black males and everybody wants to know that, because I see that that's a big impact. But let me just ask you this: what would you say to new people, young people that are like 17, 18, and they wanted to get in the fashion industry? What advice would you give them?
The first advice: put God first when it
Okay.
comes to your dream, because you're going to go through obstacles that are going to, try to challenge your morals. This is a industry that challenge morals. But on the creative side, I would say trust. They gotta believe in themselves. They, even when um, people tell them no, even when they get, you know, criticism
Right.
that might hurt their feelings, you still have to have a knowing. So that is my thing to them. Have a knowing about yourself. Let no one tell you about yourself. You have to know about yourself, and you have to know your worth. And don't get it wrong. Especially when you're doing internships, that's a form of currency too. You're learning skills, you're learning things, and you're in another setting. So don't always be like, oh, they're not paying me. Use the knowledge. So then when you confront someone like, I know this service, I give this service out, you can set a price because you didn't learn from other skillful people. But just believe, and do not stop. I don't care what the bank account look like. I don't care who's not supporting you. I don't care who leave, who come. Do not give up on yourself.
Beautiful, beautiful. And yeah. So tell us where. I'm very much inspired. I know the audience inspired. I see you as a role model for everybody. And I hope you guys pay attention and learn and go after your dreams like she did. But let's just ask her, where can we contact you? Where can we find your fashions? And then also, I'm sure there's people that will want to buy her fashions. So how can we get in contact with you and find out more about your fashions?
So you could get in contact with me at www.kellilanee.com, and that's KELLILANEE.com. And you can look me up on Instagram. That's a one easy way to get in contact with me, Instagram, because it's a tab in there that says contact, and it comes straight. The email comes straight to my phone and to my business phone. So, and I'm an open book. You know, any help, I'm willing to help anyone. You know.
Are you gonna be at A3C this year?
Yes. I'm actually going.
Good, good. And tell me about Mexico. What's going on? Is it fun down there so far? How's the weather?
It is hot. It is hot and beautiful. I'm right now. Before we even got on the call, I was about to have a little bite, but it's beautiful. The beach is beautiful. The aura is beautiful. And that's another thing as an artist. Travel.
Right.
Travel. Don't wait to travel. Travel, because for me, traveling gives me a lot of inspiration.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this two more questions, and then that's it.
Okay.
How, with COVID, how did that affect your business? Went out. She only had so much on her phone, and she just came. The audience. She came to Mexico. But but we still were able to catch some of this interview. I'm gonna call this a bonus interview for you guys, and I'm definitely work to get her back another time and really talk about her grandmother. She told me about her grandmother, her influence, and we'll get to talk with her some more in depth. But at least we did get this part of the interview. I guess maybe send it out today. Who knows? And I hope that Black women are inspired, and young girls, and I do hope that Black males and whites, Hispanics, Asians, everybody inspired by her story. She's a success story, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's beautiful when we see people that are successes and share time with us and kind of tell us and inspire us, and they're doing great and big things. So thank you, audience, for watching the video. It was short. Sometimes it happens like this, but that's life. And I hope that you did get some gems out of this interview. And we'll try to get her back another time when it's a better time, and we'll learn more. And again, thank you for watching Black authors and others. Others represents others in the arts, other people that are doing great things in their community, and celebrities. We'll talk about finance. We'll talk about all of these things to bring enriched information to you guys, to better your lives, and to bring and keep you informed, and give you everything that you need. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.